The following program is powered by Ride the Wave Media.
Introducing the best podcast in Utah, Radio Daybreak. Here are your hosts, Just Plain and Bex.
Yes, here we go. It's Valentine's Day. We're back right here, Bex. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a great show right here.
I'm so excited. I got my hearts on and my pink. Where's yours?
You know me. I just have black, gray, white, but I do have the Radio Daybreak merch shirt on. RadioDaybreak.com is up and going. The merch link, is the merch link working yet? Or is it still?
It's not on yet. No, it's to be announced coming soon.
Oh, man, that's awesome. I can't wait. So be on the lookout for the merch. Radio Daybreak merch is on the way. But Bex, the big story right now. I know it's Valentine's Day, but the big story is still the Super Bowl. Did you watch this game? Did you see it?
T-Swizz made it. Tay-Tay was there.
No, not even a problem. Looking great in all black, man.
Yes. Had her number on, representing.
I loved it. I thought the game was amazing. Like, they went to overtime. We had our guy, Nick Ferguson, there. Nick Ferguson, let me tell you about what this guy did.
He's amazing.
He went to the Super Bowl for Radio Row. Not the game itself. He went to all the stuff around it. Yeah. He flew out at about 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, game day, because if you're in the media, you're not going to the game, you get the hell out of there before the craziness happens. So he got out of there, flew back to Denver, got hit up by Fox News and friends to come back to Vegas to do a Super Bowl recap. So he hopped back on a plane 12 hours later and was on TV at 4 a.m. and was back on a plane at 8 a.m. that morning to go back to Denver.
Ferg, if anybody can do it, that man can.
I got a picture of him on the set. There's a picture of him on the set. I'll have to send it out and post it, but there's a picture of him on the set of Fox and Friends, and his face, like, he looks so damn tired. I felt bad for him, but he did amazing on there.
Oh my gosh.
It was great though. Great. But hey, with all the T-Swizzle and Travis Kelce talk, love is in the air.
Love is in the air. It is Valentine's Day. What's your favorite place to go for Valentine's Day, Blaine?
Well, I just took an anniversary trip. It was me and Lindsay's. Well, our anniversary is coming up this week.
That's true.
But because of Valentine's Day, we always have to go either side of it to not have to pay those crazy rates. We literally got an Airbnb for about less than half of what it would have been this coming weekend. So we went to Moab last weekend. That's the first time down there.
You have not seen Moab yet.
And that's not the last time. I guarantee that, because
what did you think?
It was like another planet. Like, and here's the thing is, me and Lindsay got married in Iceland. So we've seen some places, but to go to Moab was insane. Like, it was crazy. What's a place that you like to go that's romantic? Like, what's your spot?
Here in Utah?
Yeah.
Did you limit me to Utah? Because I would say Italy, of course, but I bounced over to Italy last.
That's right.
You know, can you get more romantic than Italy? I don't know.
Very true. Very true. Well, you know what? Before we go any further on that, we got to bring in our Valentine's Day expert. We should. Brenda Kradolfer, the host of The Restored Wife right here on Ride the Wave Media. She's a relationship coach. Brenda Kradolfer, coaching.com. That's Cridolfer with a K, Kradolfer.
Excellent spelling.
Get it all right there, Brenda?
Wow. Yes, I'm super impressed.
Brenda.
Hey, I don't have anything to bring. That was off the top of my head. That's pretty good, right? That was not bad.
That's amazing.
So, Brenda,
it's like it's your last name.
Yeah, right? So, Brenda, listen. You're the relationship coach here. You're the expert. So where do you think one of the most romantic, what's a couple of romantic places here in Utah, and then we'll go international, Bex. We'll let you say Italy.
Okay, all right.
All right. So we live so close to Park City, right? That's like our go-to. If we just need a weekend getaway, Park City is magical. There are so many different style hotels even. Like, we've been to some where it's like, wow, we feel like we're in Europe. And then others that are just like homey and warm. And yeah, Park City is a great place.
I love Park City. You know what Park City? Park City makes me feel like when you're in Park City, it feels like you're in a snow globe. Like, it's just you're in your own little bubble. It's nothing outside of that, and everything you need is inside of that.
But Blaine, here's the thing that we really should talk about with our listeners, because people think, oh, Utah, greatest snow on earth, Park City's beautiful. And yes, they've got more snow up at that elevation currently, right? It's February.
Yeah.
But we like to go for romantic getaways even in the summer. And that's kind of the little secret, best kept secret is Park City in the summer is beautiful. If you're like keeping that romance through the year, head up in the spring, summer, fall. It's beautiful.
I love that idea. And on
Yeah.
the opposite side of that, go to Moab in February because there was no one there. It's off season, and we got told by a lot of the places were closed because it's off season. It literally said closed for the off season. And we talked to some of the locals around there, and they said we love this time. This is the time that local people get to enjoy that place and local Utahns. But it was amazing to be able to go to that and drive up to the Arches National Park and literally see the signs that say 1 hour wait from here, and we're just cruising. We're the only car there. Like it was
Just cruising through.
I loved it, but that was it was very intimate to be able to do that in an off season because it took away the hustle and bustle of people everywhere. We didn't have to work. We were taking photos. Like all of our photos, there's nobody in our photos. There's nobody out there.
Oh, that is romantic. You know what, Lane? That wouldn't have been on my radar. So
but it's also a little bit scary. It's also a little bit scary to be out there in the middle of nowhere with Lindsay because you never know. She could snap on me at any minute. So she could blast
Lindsay on here. I think Lindsay needs to talk about
You're in
Valentine.
trouble.
Oh, hey, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that, man. But so romantic places. What about outside of Utah? Well, let's not go for Hawaii and
I gave you my listen. Don't you be knocking. You see my Hawaii signs back here.
I know. I love Hawaii, but I want to go. I wanted to talk about like a hidden secret. Do either one of you have a hidden romantic secret place there is that not a lot of people know about, or?
I don't know about hidden, but like,
or you don't want to tell it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Brenda.
There's a lot of little, just cute towns around. Like, we just go over to Colorado, I think, too. And there's like a lot. Like, we have so many national parks, which is amazing. We went on a trip once. I wanted to go to Uri, Colorado. It's like this little tiny town. They call it the Switzerland of America. And that was like one of our little romantic getaways, was doing some slot canyon hiking, and that's about 6 hours from here. So it's a good little drive, but that was part of the fun. Like, I love road tripping with just my husband.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, that's the best way to be, right? Do you grab a map, or do you just get in the car and point it one direction and say, let's roll?
Ooh, I like doing that too. We're always looking for food places. It's like who has good food, and then we'll just find some place and we'll just make a day trip out of it, or a weekend trip out of it.
I love that.
What about you, Blaine? Do you have any top secret places that you like to head out to?
Oh, I just like it right here in the basement. This is my cave. No,
I like it.
Honestly, yeah, right. Honestly, Iceland, that's one of mine. That was amazing. That was a whole other experience over there. Lots of movies get filmed over there. Lots of the places that we go, movies get filmed there. TV shows and movies are always filmed in all these locations.
Okay, so I have to pick your brain a little bit because I know you're from California. You've Hollywood, right? LA, you've lived there. I hear that there are some beautiful places in California, Monterey being one. I haven't had the chance to visit Monterey yet, which is surprising that I haven't just ran over there because it's not very far from one of our investment properties. But there's some places, right, in California. There's gotta be.
Oh, man. You know what? One of the most fun trips you could make, romantic drives, like Brenda said, getting in the car and doing a road trip with your husband or your significant other, is driving up Pacific Coast Highway. The entire, oh my God.
I haven't done that. I would love to.
That's so fun. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry, because it'll say it's going to take maybe 6-7 hours. No. It's like 12. Like you're hitting.
Take your time.
Take your time. Yeah. Enjoy it. But you're literally
I like Brenda's idea where I can just like plan it around food. That makes me happy. Like, where's my first stop?
Like the strawberry stands and the produce stands on Pacific Coast Highway. Yeah, you got to make time to stop some of those on the way.
So you're saying worth it. Do it. All right.
100%.
They got the Strawberry Festival up there. They got a Strawberry Festival up in, I don't know, one of those towns on the coast there. Not the same as the Humboldt, Tennessee Strawberry Festival where I'm from, but.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's the only Strawberry Festival. That's the real one.
We might need to hear about that. Hey, Utah, speaking of little quaint places, have you been up to Bear Lake yet?
No, I have not. I have not been to Bear Lake.
So they have the raspberry days up there.
Oh,
That's right.
Gotta
okay.
go.
Well,
And that is beautiful.
now that we're on the topic of food, what's
Yes.
some Valentine's Day like? What's considered a Valentine's Day treat? How about that?
Oh.
Chocolate dipped strawberries. That's a one that's always
I
a go
gotta
to.
ask you guys, are you
Yeah.
fans of chocolate dipped strawberries? I'm still like on the fence about chocolate dipped strawberries.
Yeah, chocolate and
Oh, I
fruit for me is like a little sketchy. I feel like I've grown into it. It's like I'm supposed to like these. So I've
yeah,
developed a taste for this chocolate dipped strawberry, but I totally get where you're coming from. Like, I'm
right?
not sure about this.
To me, it
And the
depends on the
textures
chocolate.
are so different because you get
Hmm.
that hard, chunky chunk like
Yeah.
chocolate, whatever I'm trying to say, and then like the soft strawberry. And I'm like, I don't know if it's a texture thing that it's just not jiving for me. But all
Yeah.
right, what were you gonna say, Blaine?
No, I was just gonna say it. To me, it depends on what kind of chocolate it is. Like that's a big thing.
Yeah,
But it is weird that two things that taste so good has a little bit of a stigma about wanting to put them together. Like it is, right? Like that's fun.
I
Kind of
I
fun.
think they're beautiful, and I'm with you, Brenda. Like you like want to love them, but then I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, but I think it's a texture thing. I don't know. I don't know. I could just be. What do you guys think? Let's hear from our listeners. Let
Yeah,
us know
tell
what
us.
you think about
Tell us.
them.
Well, what about this? What about this? If you had to choose on Valentine's Day, do you do chocolates or
Oh,
or something else? Something else I'm not thinking of. So, which one? Which would you rather have?
like a dark chocolate and like, but with nuts, like dark chocolate nuts. Brian
Mm.
knows that's my love language. Like dark chocolate, yes, please. But I here's the thing about my husband. He is amazing. Can I just say that? We don't talk much about my significant other because he's a little bit shy.
I love Brian.
But he's when he surprises me with flowers, let me just tell you this. You're gonna learn a little tidbit about me. Grocery store wildflowers are my absolute favorite because you're
Really?
out and about. It's like random occasion. He brings flowers home. He was thinking about me when he was at the grocery store, and nothing means more to me than that. Like
Mm.
just the little $10 grocery store flowers, wildflowers, they are my absolute favorite. It tears me up every time.
I love that. So it's not even
Aw.
the flowers. It's just the thought that he was thinking of you. I
Totally.
love that. What about you, Brenda? Chocolate or
Yeah.
flowers?
Ooh, I'm the same as Bex. I love dark chocolate and nuts. Like that
Yes.
combo is so good. I don't always
Mhm.
meet people that are like on that, but yeah, that's my favorite too. I really
Mine
love
are.
flowers though too. Flowers. What says I love you better than flowers? But I know some women are like, no, they're just gonna die. I used to
Oh,
be
they
that way.
already
I was
are.
like, don't give me flowers. They're just gonna die. Like I'd rather have a house plant or like something that I could use. And I didn't always appreciate like some of these small gestures that my husband would do, and then he'd stop doing them because I was
Mm.
like,
Oh,
want. But I
yeah.
love Bex that you brought that up. Like, it's the thought behind it that just like lights you up when he brings home those
Totally.
flowers.
Yeah.
It's
Blaine, what
Something
do
I
you
had
do
to
for
learn.
Lindsay?
Lindsay doesn't like
Yes.
flowers. She said, "Don't give me something dead. I don't want it. I don't want
Yeah.
Yeah.
flowers." That she's
Okay,
that
what's
person.
what's her love language? What does she like?
Oh,
We'll put
little stuff, little
yeah.
toys, little knickknacks, like just little things that are like cute or whatever, or had some kind of sentimental value. Or honestly, I could give her a rock. Like, like she, if it came from
Yeah.
me, to me and her, if it comes from each other, it doesn't really matter what it is. Like we're good.
Mm.
We're good.
Oh,
We're happy about it. So,
that's sweet.
what's the
That,
best gift you guys have ever gotten on Valentine's Day? That's a hard one, huh?
Hmm.
that is a hard one.
Because a
I was
gift
just
could be physical, it could be a experience,
Yeah.
it could be a whole lot of things there.
Yeah, I don't know that I have an answer to that one, Blaine. You've stumped me.
What would be a good gift then? What would be Bex outside of flowers? What do you guys consider a good gift for Valentine's Day?
So again, you're going to learn a little something here. My husband and I are not big on the holiday like gifters.
Yes, yes.
So my husband's love language is gifting. I think you and I have talked about this, Blaine, and
Oh yeah.
it made me very uncomfortable. Not even kinda, very uncomfortable receiving gifts from him because that's not necessarily my love language. But then I realized like how that crushed him, to your
Mm,
point, Brenda, when I didn't appreciate necessarily the gifts. Like I would be worried about the cost or like
yeah.
the time that went into it or and he's like, would you please just like, I'm giving you this because I love you. And then me receiving it and my reaction is a huge part of that, because that's how he's showing me love.
Right.
So back to your point, he is very good at that, and I've had to learn to be a receiver of that for his love language, but it's not necessarily on the holiday. He's usually an off holiday, random times, don't really go out to dinner on Valentine's Day itself. It's in and around it, or throughout the year. So
I like that.
yeah, what about you guys?
I love that too. And my next thought is, I think the best Valentine's gift you can give someone is to have zero expectations around Valentine's Day.
Here we go.
It can be a really loaded holiday, and there could be a lot of disappointment and things going on. People have expectations around what they want to receive or what they want to give and how it's going to be received. And so that's been a huge blessing for me, is just learning to let go of all my expectations around gifts and gift giving and love languages. And like, I love that you were able to shift that, Bex, and be like, okay, like this is how he's showing his love. Like that's a gift, even if the gift isn't quite what I had in mind, but
I love, we just got advice from a relationship coach. Now we're talking like, Brenda, this is up Brenda's alley. I love that. Are there a set amount of love languages out there, Brenda? Or is it 4 or 5, or like, what are they? What are some common ones that we could be on the lookout for?
Oh gosh, I think everybody has, I think there's lots more than probably that are even in the book of the 5 love languages. They say 5, right? And I think the trick is, though, to really know yourself. And I know a lot of people will read that book and they'll know what their love language is, and then they'll create an expectation around their spouse. So like, read this book, start doing this different, and really get into this like controlling space where then maybe you're even pushing your spouse away, and that's not what we want, right? We're trying to connect. Like that's really what we all want. We want to connect, but it can get dicey when the tools or the things that are out there can create expectations that then hurt the intimacy and connection in your relationship.
You're talking about the 5 love languages, the book by Gary Chapman. Is that correct? That's that's the one. So if you read that book, take some advice from it, but just don't expect it, right? Is that what you're like? Don't have those expectations, because you might be disappointed. It's that old saying of, don't expect much and you'll be more excited when it happens. I like that thought. Yeah.
But you can also have you can have dreams and visions and things that you want. I think for me, that was really important to learn how to just know what I want and how I receive love. That's just good information for me to have, and I can then share that. But then that crucial piece, that hard piece, I think, is letting go of the outcome. Like maybe I tell my husband, this is how I need to be loved, and it doesn't always happen that way. And I get to choose, do I want to let that crush the connection, or do I want to, choose to look at it a little differently, or find other ways that I know that he's showing his love for me and really focus on those instead.
I love that. And I think for us, it was communicating, right? So communicating through that piece. So we all are our backgrounds and our experiences, which bring into perspective where we're at and how we view the world, right? So I was raised by a single mom who struggled for money. And so when my husband was gifting me, especially when we were first dating, that made me really uncomfortable, because I had a very highly in tune sense of what things cost, and you only ask for what you need versus what you want. And so some of those things that were ingrained at such a young age, it really triggered something in me that was so uncomfortable from a very young age. And so it's recognizing that. But I think a big piece that you said is communication around that. We were able to communicate through that. And mine is acts of service. So I was doing all of these acts of service for him to show my love. And maybe he likes to hear words of affirmation, right? And quality time. And so it's communicating, I think, resolves a lot of those things, right? Oh, I'm feeling disappointed because I don't get X, Y, or Z in this relationship. No, they're doing the things. It just may not be aligned with what you were having that expectation. So I love what you were saying about that, Brenda. And I'm sure you can say that in a more clinical way.
So Brenda, so how other than the communication part and just straight asking your partner, hey, what's your love language? How do you figure out the love language? How do you pick up on those signals?
Ooh. Oh, gosh. That's a hard question, Blaine. How do I pick up on those signals? And how do I do it without trying to control something that's not in my control?
Yeah.
So for me, like I can only control myself. I can
Mm-hmm.
only like really know myself. So it's really like getting in touch more with myself. Like, so I love what Beck said, like, hey, I recognize that this is coming up from childhood. Like I had these limiting beliefs around money and we talked through that and you were able, it sounds like you were able to your husband about that and identify it. And then it wasn't him getting in the way.
Yeah.
I know we get in our own
At
ways
all.
about thinking it's our spouse that is just not showing up the way that we think they should. And
Yeah.
so yeah,
No,
I
it
think
was totally about me and
yeah.
those limiting beliefs.
I
Yeah.
love
That's
it.
amazing that you were able to see that because I think for me and for a lot of us, we just don't even see what's going on under the surface, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, it's just really important for me to know what I need and what I want and be able to express that and then really just receive what comes to me, what comes my way.
With no expectations.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I want to throw this out here, like Brenda, because this is what I hear, and I know that this is all about Love Day, but this is something that I hear often, girls' night out or what have you, where women or men, your partner, like, if you loved me, you would just know. If you loved me, you would do the dishes. How do you not see that the dishes need to be put in the
Right.
dishwasher or the house needs to be
Yeah.
cleaned? If you loved me, I don't want to have to explain myself and just you would know.
Right.
So what would you say to that? I'm sure you've seen that in your coaching too.
Yeah. Oh gosh. And I did that too. That was like my MO. Like, yeah, if you loved me, you would do these things. You would just know what needed to be done. And yeah, that's something I love to talk about with my clients and in my workshops. And like, how do you get what you want while still letting go of another person that has their own autonomy and their own way of doing things and their own way that they grew up too.
Yeah.
I love what you do as a relationship coach because you've also got the thing called the preventative,
Yeah.
right? You can be in the best relationship ever, but you could still come see you and get something out of it because it's preventative for problems in the future. So you're trying to basically,
Teaching the tools.
that's it. It's figure out what's going to be wrong before it happens. That's what it sounds like to me. And I love that. Like everybody needs that to me. Why would you
Sure.
not?
A lot
Like
of
why?
scary stuff that can happen and
Yeah.
like not saying that like we're all doomed, we're not, right? But like I think that's how I really came into it too. And I discovered that there was a lot of stuff that I needed to turn around for me. But I didn't know that going into it. It was kind of like, okay, these people are dealing with some really difficult things and they've turned their relationships around and made them even better. So yeah, there's got to be something there. So I think like if you already are in a really good relationship, like you feel pretty good about it, but there's some things that come up, like you might just be missing a piece or two or like a different perspective. That was really true for me.
Do you think most relationships can be saved?
I do. I think a lot more relationships can be saved than we give credit for.
Because that divorce, what's that divorce stat? It's like what? Crazy. It's 50%
Yeah,
or
it's
something?
over 50%. Yeah.
You think that could be lower if people just maybe communicated more, huh?
I do think
Didn't
it could be
have
lower, but you do have to have the right tools because, like, there's a lot of well-meaning, really good sounding relationship advice out there that actually could do more damage. Like never go to bed angry, for example. That's another way of saying fight until 4 a.m. until you're tired and exhausted and nobody can think straight and everybody's hurt, you know? So like, I don't know. Do we keep that up or like, I think there's other ways around it too. And there's a lot of relationship advice out there that falls into that category. Like it sounds really good, but it's not maybe not the right fit for a woman or for a couple's circumstance.
Yeah, I liked it because that don't go to bed angry. I never understood that. It's like, well then, like you said, you keep fighting, you get more tired, you end up saying things you shouldn't have, and you regret later, one way or the other.
And that could just divide and just drive even deeper wedge.
Oh, absolutely. And you don't forget that when you wake up. But
yeah,
I'll put us out there. Me and Lindsay, we had an argument the other night, and guess what?
Yeah.
We said, no, we're done tonight. Go to bed. We need sleep. That was it. We need sleep. We woke up. But that was it.
Handle this. Let's sleep. For
The next
me, I
morning,
better be eating. Don't catch me when I'm hangry.
that's it. You woke up the next morning, didn't say a word, hugged it out, and that was it. Like that,
Oh,
but if we would have went to bed mad, we'd have fought all night. Would have been more mad, more. I get that, Brenda. Like
yeah.
that's one I never understood either. Don't go to bed angry. I know the sentiment. It's well, you might not wake up. Well, come on, we're not thinking that way. Like,
Yeah, like we're like maybe we can work through these. Like let's work it out. But yeah, when you're tired and
Excuse
nothing
me.
good. Nothing good will happen when you're beaten down
right,
already, and then you're beating each other down. Like
yeah.
that's mental, emotional, physical. All of that's taking its toll. So I love that you put that out there. I got a big question for you. Is love blind?
Oh, do you watch that show, Blaine?
No, I don't, but I've heard good things.
That's my guilty pleasure show.
I
Oh, I
love
didn't know
blind.
that about you, Brenda.
I know.
Let's
I
dive
can't hide it,
in.
but you guys just brought it out in the open. So here we go.
I
Is
love it.
love blind? Oh my gosh. I don't think it is. This is just my personal experience, but I met my husband in one scenario. We were working together and we could not have any kind of relationship with each other. We just knew each other and we started liking each other and then separate ways. And then we hooked up again later and just on the phone because we were living in different states. And I had this mental image of who he was, and then we're talking on the phone, and it's a little different because it's after this experience that we had together. And then the first time I saw him, even though I liked him and I was like on board, like I was like, yeah, let's see where this goes. And the first time I saw him, he did not look like this picture that I had in my head. And he looked so young to me. He was already a little bit younger than me, but he looked like he was like 14 kind of a thing. And I was like, I just couldn't get over that. Like that was really hard. It didn't take too long before we're just talking when it comes back. But like in that moment, my love for him or my feelings for him were blind. Like they'd gone out the door because it wasn't matching up. And then I see on the show too. Yeah, where like it's an adjustment. Like there's something about, I think there's aspects of it. I think parts of love are blind, can be blind, should be blind. But if we're just talking about like the basics, like love is blind, I think physical attraction and all those things are really important in a relationship and can change. Like it's not like you're stuck in one version of yourself or one way that you look. I think that can grow and change too. But
I think it will. I think you always always evolve. Really, like it should always evolve.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Is love blind? Can you shut off?
Maybe. I don't know.
I know I might revise my answer later after I think about it some more.
Yeah, I don't know. That is a tough one, right? Like that is pretty tough because
I'm going to hear from people out there talking about.
yeah, we should ask our listeners what they think.
Yeah, I'd love to
Big
do that.
loaded question.
Big time loaded question. And you know
He's
what?
throwing
Like,
all the hard ones at you today, Brenda. My gosh, Blaine.
I love
I
it.
want everybody out there to have a good Valentine's Day with their significant other all the way
Or
through the rest of the
themselves.
year. Yeah.
I've heard Single Awareness Day, and go have fun. Go have fun with your singles too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
huge advocate for that.
Me too.
Making yourself
Brenda,
happy.
where can we find you, Brenda? It's BrendaKradolferCoaching.com. Where else?
Yep. On Instagram, I'm just at Brenda Kradolfer. And yeah, you can come check out my new podcast, The Restored Wife.
I love it. I love that pod.
Right here on Ride the Wave Media, right?
Yes, I love that pod.
that.
I'm getting good feedback on that pod.
Yay.
She texted me. Brenda's so funny. She texted me not that long ago. She's like, "Are people actually listening to this?" I was like, "Yes, they are. Yes, they." Brenda's the quiet one in the room all the time. And then Bex, I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but when we were getting ready for Brenda's podcast and we were picking out music, right?
Yeah.
She says, "I don't know if you've heard this song or not, but I'm going to play it for you. This is what I was trying to go for." And she hits play, and ding, 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 ding. Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, Still Dre comes on. And I'm like, I start cracking up. I thought Brenda was playing a prank on me. I thought
Was she not?
No, she wasn't playing a prank. That's what she wanted. But I love
love
how she set it up.
it.
I don't know if you've ever heard this song. Like, I didn't know who these guys were. Like, I've been to Dr.
You're
Dre's
like,
house.
I've worked with them.
I've DJ'd with Snoop. Like, I know these guys. But it was
That's
hilarious.
awesome, Brenda. Okay, I need to dig deeper. You and I got to go to lunch sometime.
She's a gangster. I think Brenda's
an OG in there.
Brenda should rebrand yourself to the Love Gangsters. I think that's what you should be. The Love
LG, baby.
I love it. Yeah, let's do that. We could do some episodes on being the love gangster. That'd be fun.
I love that.
I love it.
Well,
That's
look,
hilarious.
we're going to let Brent get out of here, but we got a couple announcements. We've got the Daybreak business community lunch is at Ma's Pizza for every Wednesday, 1 o'clock for the rest of the month.
Yep.
Agency, Sawyer and Kaylee are coming for the Daybreak business community February 22nd for a workshop on making websites, basically getting your brand together. And there's also one more event. Daybreak Treasures Boutique is hosting Heart Smart Art. It's Courtney Pearl. It's her emotional intelligence workshop for kids and parents. That's a really cool event that Courtney's been doing there for the kids. It helps them express their artistic creativity and all that kind of stuff. I believe that one is at Biscott's. Mm-hmm. It is? Correct.
It is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple of announcements for you, so we'll have those up for you. Make sure you check out some of that stuff. Make sure you go to Brenda Kradolfer coaching.com. We'll have the link in the show notes. Bex, what you got for us? What are we doing next week?
You covered it, friend. That is all we have. And then we will announce when our merch is available on our website. So stay tuned.
Are we doing a real estate show next week? Are we going to talk to R5 Homes?
R5 Homes. We're going to be talking to them next week. Super cool product. Nothing like that anywhere else in the state of Utah that I'm aware of.
Oh, no way.
So stay tuned for that. It is awesome.
We went down there, and I'm not a real estate expert, but I had a good time. It's a cool concept. Be here next week to hear that interview and that conversation with R5 Homes. Once again, thank you, Brenda, for joining us for this Valentine's Day special. Now let's go have a meal. Let's go find our significant other. No. We don't do it on Valentine's Day. We have to wait till tomorrow or the next day so we can get the 75% off candy. Hey, I'm on a budget. I'm a baller on a budget, so that's what I like. Thank you, guys.
Go have fun.
I love it.